And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to WrestlePurists Worldwide. Every week, I always forget it doesn't automatically unmute me, but
I did tell you before we hit the countdown, but
did you?
Nonetheless,
all right. Well, it's tough, Monty. There's a lot on my mind right now. You know what I mean?
there is.
There's a lot on my mind right now. There's a lot on my mind. It's a pretty important day for me, and welcome to WrestlePurists Worldwide, everybody. I'm your host, Ibu of WrestlePurists, better known to many of you guys as Backup Hangman, and I'm joined as usual by the boss man, by my co-host, by my brother, Montel WP. And today we'll be talking about a lot of things. We'll talk about SmackDown and things that happened there. We'll look at the world of AEW and preview what looks to be a pretty fun Dynamite, and one that stacked a lot of really good wrestling matches. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the 3 new matches added to Wrestle Dynasty and Wrestle Kingdom off the back of New Japan's Fighting Spirit Unleashed show. And we will put on our scouting hats, Monty, our drafts expert hats, because we are going to take an extensive, detailed, laborious look at the WWE ID program and their latest recruits, to which there are numerous that have been announced. Some relatively unknown, but a couple pretty fairly well known if you're tapped in on the independent scene. So we'll take a look at WWE ID. We'll take a look at all those things. But it's worldwide, and it wouldn't be worldwide if there wasn't some news and announcements. So we'll have the latest on CM Punk, which I'll try to get out before 7 o'clock, because then the Raw spoilers will be trickling throughout the Twitter sphere. So we'll have the latest on CM Punk. We'll answer your super chats, where I'm sure you guys will ask me a million questions, and I'm happy to answer all the ones that I can. And maybe most importantly for me personally, I have a major announcement on my future, specifically my future as a wrestling content creator. What's next for me? And I'll let you guys know today. I wanted to do it, and I thought, you know what? If I'm going to do it, let's do it on air, in front of the people, in front of everybody, with all of you guys surrounding me, the audience that I'm really, really happy to be a part of. So my future, I'll announce it tonight, and we will have some fun talking some wrestling. Guys, make sure to like the video if you haven't liked the video already. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed to WrestlePurists. And again, send us super chats, ask us whatever you want, like the video, all that good stuff. Steer the ship as you guys usually do so well here on the show. And with that, Monty, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. A little bit worried about your details about this retirement angle you seem to be teasing at the moment.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? But
look at this guy trying to bury the lead. But yeah, I do have an announcement on my, so
that's what the chat's saying. Talking about retirement angles. They're saying you're going to Cultaholic.
Let me read this.
They're saying you got the salmon blazer on.
WWE ID, Ibu, I see that.
Yeah, man.
Blue Sky. I'm already on Blue Sky. I'm on both of the platforms. If you want to follow me on Blue Sky, I'm on there. Backup Hangman, Blue Sky Social. SRS made the call. Chapter Ibu to Fightful Raw reviews. Ibu and Julian Weeks creating a new company. Definitely not that. Kevin Durant, Ibu the Decision.
All right, anyway, WrestlePurists also on Blue Sky, but we're not really on there. I just kind of like reserved that just in case.
Just in case, like
just in case
you fully go to hell, right? Yeah.
All right, but yeah, man, no Anna again, bro. The people are missing her. It's
no Anna this week, and Elon Musk suspended her for 7 days.
What's going on?
What a piece of shit app, She basically just said fucking pervert should die, and then they got rid of her. But people can call me a nigger, and that's totally fine. And I can report
crazy,
that.
Bro.
Yeah, bro, I report like all kinds of freaks that say crazy slurs and threats and stuff, and then they'll be like, we have read your submitted report, and we have found
and it'll be like the wildest thing.
Yeah.
I've seen screenshots from other people, bro.
It'll be like, I'm gonna find you and kill you, you fucking stupid monkey. And then they'll be like, yeah, that's fine. Thank you for your support and your operation in this investigation.
Thanks for the feedback.
I'm like, what the hell? And it's like, yeah, freaks should die. And they're like, oh, slow down now. Let's relax.
Yeah, it's a bit messy out there.
But, I will do my best, guys, to to make sure Anna gets back here next week on Worldwide. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, man, it should be a fun show, man. How you feeling today, Monty?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. Not too
Mhm.
bad. It was a quiet weekend compared to some of the other ones recently. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't get the WrestlePurists match list until like this morning, and so last Sunday night I found myself not knowing what I'm supposed to watch because the underrated thing about our match list is that,
Yeah.
yeah, like sometimes I'm like, what am I supposed to be even watching? Like, what happened this weekend? And then I'll look at the list and I'm like, okay, some Noah thing happened. All right, then I'll just fire up what's the fucking app called? Wrestle Universe, right? But here I had no clue what I was supposed to be watching. And so I was like, let me just watch British Bulldog and Dynamite Kid against Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart. And so that's how I spent my night. But yeah, big day today.
Jeremy does a good job.
He does a great job.
Collecting the matches. You know, there's always like he always goes a little bit too niche sometimes. You know, there'll be like one or two matches that nobody's seeing that just doesn't end up getting rated.
I like it though because
that's too much of a good job. You know, he does that good of a job. It's too much of a good job. So
I like it though because I make a mental note. Like I'll probably not get to this, but maybe in like 3 weeks I'll watch that. You know, and that does happen.
You don't. You know,
no, I do because I'm a professional. You know, and I'm a real wrestling fan. But
showing you're retiring. You know,
just tonight. Tonight's an interesting night, man. I'm very uneasy, Monty, because CM Punk. You know,
uneasy.
A little uneasy, man. Not about my future. I'm uneasy about CM Punk because, you know,
that's what something.
Yeah, because here's the thing: it's like either A, Gunther just straightforwardly calls out Priest. He comes out, and you just get a graphic for Survivor Series. But that's no fun, you know. There's also reality B where Priest gets like murdered by Finn Balor earlier in the night or some shit, and then maybe CM Punk shows up to answer Gunther's challenge for Survivor Series. And that's how you delay Priest until Saturday night's main event in New York. Or maybe CM Punk is back to do something completely different, which not out of the realms of possibility. So we'll see what ends up happening. Because I love you guys and I appreciate you. And I already have a hook for the end of the show anyway with my announcement. I'll talk about the Punk thing now. So
So what's the latest on CM Punk?
Here's the latest on CM Punk. So this has pretty much been fairly widely discussed already, but Punk was always planned to take off the pay-per-view cycle leading to Saudi. That was always going to be in the plan. He was always going to finish with Drew and then take a month off. As of a month ago, he was scheduled to be back around this time. And the plan as of this was talked about since August. The loose outline that they wanted to do was Punk Gunther at Survivor Series. That was what they wanted to do. That is why CM Punk, if you remember, Monty, called out Gunther after Bash in Berlin in that promo. And then the challenge got cut off because Drew McIntyre attacked him, shoved the beads down his throat, kicked him, and then it led to the Hell in the Cell. But the plan was going to always be trilogy with Drew, month off, come back, Gunther. Have any of those plans changed? To that, I cannot say for certain. I can make certain assumptions based on things I've heard, but that would be irresponsible of me, Monty, as a journalist. So,
fuck off.
That's no, but the truth is, I've been told certain things that make me go like, that's interesting, you know. But it's like, who knows, right? The truth about CM Punk is he's very mercurial, and when he's close to coming back, he doesn't want you to see him coming. He very much wants to catch you off guard. And I reached out to CM Punk's camp today, and I basically said,
#Punk camp.
Right. I was like, hey, Punk camp, are you guys, is your guy at TV today? And to be completely transparent with you guys, I didn't get a response. And typically when the Punk camp doesn't give me a response, usually it means that they are appearing or in for a surprise at some point. because typically if they're not, it would just be, hey, is he doing the show or is he at TV? And it's just like just a yes or a no. So we shall see. Maybe this is the one time that just doesn't lead to the same formula that it has been. But
yeah, it just ignored you.
right. But normally, hey, are you doing this with this guy tonight? And it's like the scene, and then it's like, and it's like, oh, this motherfucker, of course. So we'll see what's happening. We'll see what goes on with that.
All right. So there you go. There's your big hook for the show. CM Punk, the latest on CM Punk. Gunther though, that is what we really want, isn't it? You know, out of all the possibilities, that's what you're really hoping for, isn't it?
Correct.
I think it's the case with most people. The thing is, though, when it comes to even Gunther, though, like even as a Gunther fan, it's like, okay, you can run back the rematch with Damian Priest. Like that just sounds like a nice Raw main event to me, you know? Because at the end of the day, if Gunther beats Damian Priest as expected, again, it's like, what does that really do for Gunther? You know,
it's a nice 3.5, 3 3/4 star match, and it's like cool. Like, all right, that was neat. Yeah, I feel the same way. And here's the thing, like obviously, like yes, their match at SummerSlam overachieved, but like you said, it's like taking up another PLE spot for it is a bit aggressive, especially when there's only 5 of them usually on these pay-per-views. So that's a bit of a stretch to do at Survivor Series, in my personal opinion. Especially when, like, God forbid, you might have 2 War Games and neither of them, there's a chance neither of them are good. It's like, give me something, you know? So that's why my hope, Monty, this whole time, I need Cody and Kevin Owens, and I need Punk and Gunther. Now, we're not allowed to have nice things in the world, so I may get none of those things. But hopefully I get both. Because I don't know if you saw Cody's schedule. He posted his schedule for this month, and Survivor Series wasn't on it. What the fuck is that about? Like, what the fuck? Is Steen gonna like kill him tomorrow, like this week or some shit? Is he gonna like hospitalize?
Have you seen the WWE, the lip readers? Have you seen the latest with that?
Regarding Roman? Yeah, he said like, I'm like, get your 5, I'll get my 5, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so there might actually be 5 on 5 for Survivor Series in the War Games Bloodline match, and
there's no might, Monty. There will be 5. I've been saying this for months, and everybody's been denying me. Everybody's been doubting me. If you're like, nah, bro, I think it's just 4 on 4. No, it's going to be 5 on 5, and I'm telling you all, Braun Breaker is going to be on that OG Bloodline team. Who has been missing for months, Monty? Paul Heyman has been missing. When he comes back, he will have the ace up his sleeve. Who is the ace? And here's the thing. Paul Heyman's always a shiesty guy. He makes certain decisions where people might go, what the fuck, Paul?
He definitely is.
And Paul's going to be like, trust me on this. And I'm telling you, I can feel it in my bones. He's going to say, guys, stick with me on this one. The 5th man is the son of Rick Steiner, the nephew of Scott Steiner. It's the badass Braun Breaker. And Jay's going to make a face like, him? Sammy's going to make a face like, him? The guy, both of those guys had rivalries with him, and he's going to walk out there, and he's going to go toe-to-toe, face-to-face with Jacob Fatu, because here's the thing. What's going to happen in these next few weeks is Jacob is going to be the big X-Factor wild card who's kicking everybody's fucking ass. Who could go toe-to-toe with Jacob Fatu? Who could stop this monster, the Samoan werewolf? It's going to take a badass. And Paul Heyman's going to do it. And you know what's going to happen when he reveals it? You know what's going to happen when he reveals it, Monty? Solo's in his very solo way with that shitty glove and the suit. He's going to hold his guys back and be like, hey, it's cool. No, it's cool. We got this. I got a plan. Don't worry about it. And then fucking like, because he'll be holding fucking Tama Tonga, who's going to be like, and fucking like, Jacob Fatu is just going to be like, you sure? I love you, Solo. And the plan, Monty, is on the day of Survivor Series, you're going to hear when it's time for that 5th man to come out. Because he's not going to come out with the group. He's going to come out late in the match. If you smell what the Rock is cooking. Duh.
You can't dangle that shit in front of me, bro. You know?
I'm right about all this. Oh my God, the victory laps I'm gonna take.
Oh man, I would I tried a lot of things for that Dwayne Survivor Series appearance. I tried I don't know, a few souls, you know. A few WrestlePurists employees whose names won't be mentioned, you know. Employees, that's a stretch. But
Right.
anyway.
But yeah, that's that was the latest on Punk. And since we're on SmackDown, fuck it. We'll do a little bit of SmackDown, and while you guys are building your super chats, guys, take this opportunity now to ask us whatever questions you'd like to ask us, to talk about whatever you want to talk about, give us your opinions on whatever you want to give us your opinions on. But while you guys do that with the super chats, because we'll read them after this. On SmackDown, they did 2 Bloodline cinema segments where people were talking at Roman while Roman twitched and made lip quivers, you know, and did his like Robert De Niro face. And yeah, Sami Zayn basically conflicted. Sami basically conceded that like he missed the 4 of them and he missed everything that's going on. And he tried to get Roman to crack by saying, like, you know, you don't hate me, you love me. And he was like, "Oh, I see you doing." He's trying to point him out, smirking or whatever. But the gist of the segment was basically that Sammy's down to be a part of this and help them, but Roman has to apologize, and he doesn't have to apologize to him. He wants Roman Reigns to apologize to Jey Uso for all the trauma that he has caused this man in these years. And I'm glad that Sami Zayn pointed out the elephant in the room, because fans have been saying like, "Yo, Jay's fucking working with this dude, but this dude is a piece of shit and he hasn't apologized." Roman Reigns basically tells him to get the fuck out of my face. And so, yeah, Roman Reigns refuses to apologize to Jey Uso. He told Jay that like this whole thing was a waste of his time. Backstage, Jay pretty much kind of confronted him and was like, "Yo, I told you, like, you disrespect me once, I'm out." And he grabbed his arm and the crowd gasped like, "Oh, how dare you grab Roman Reigns' arm," or whatever, right? But late in the show, the challenge was laid out for War Games from the heels. And Solo Sikoa Pit said that his 5th man was Sami Zayn. And the crowd was like, "Oh, what?" Sami Zayn comes out during the beatdown. Of course, he's not on the heel side. He does a bunch of midair haluva kicks to the bad guys. He helps Roman Reigns out. And the Usos put the ones up. Sammy puts the one up. Roman Reigns puts the one up. And the 2022 version of the Bloodline is back together. War Games is seemingly set. But like I said, Monty, the graphic hasn't been posted by WWE on their socials because it's not going to be a 4-on-4. It'll be a 5-on-5. What did you make of the Bloodline business on this show, Monty?
I thought it was pretty good. Sami Zayn is like, he's so good when he's introduced into this Bloodline stuff, you know. He knows kind of like what buttons to press with the crowd to get him to ooh and ah and pop and, you know what I mean, and all that stuff. And so yeah, I don't really have too much to add at the moment, because things still need to kind of like, feels like things still need to kind of like blow up a bit, you know, before Survivor Series.
Here's the thing. Like, Bloodline stuff in 2024 is like pretty fucking tedious, but Sammy and Jay have been the engine that's made this section of the story like watchable and solid again, like it was 2 years ago, right? It's not Roman Reigns. He's such a big piece though that you'd like him to be interesting. And this section of the story where he has to basically acknowledge that he's been an asshole and like develop as a person and acknowledge his faults, that is an interesting concept. And I hope it results in Roman Reigns finally becoming interesting after not being interesting for a long time. So we're not there yet with Roman, but I'd like to see it. The problem also is he's good at a couple things. Roman is great at like coming off badass. He's great in angles where he's just kicking the shit out of like the bad guys. That's great. Roman is not a great actor, and he's pretty one note and what's the word? Not versatile when it comes to like being in segments like this, because it's like his range, so to speak, is pretty thin. It's like he can make a mean face and he can say things sternly like "acknowledge me" or "no" or "let's do it then" or something like. But he can't go out there like Sami Zayn and just be like, "You don't understand, Sammy, the things that I'm going through personally," and he can't do all that shit, right? So it'll be a challenge to see how he handles that aspect of it and his apology to Jay. But that remains to be seen. But yeah, that was the Bloodline stuff. The other really major thing on SmackDown that's worth noting, two things. They announced the Women's United States Championship, so good for the ladies. A lot of them seem to be very excited about this, and we'll see how that goes. And Randy Orton got pile driven by Kevin Owens.
No,
Yeah.
no,
he got pile driven.
How could he?
Yeah. Kevin Owens pile drove him, and the paramedics came out, and he got loaded onto the stretcher, and Cody Rhodes watched along, and he went with Randy to the hospital. They called it a hospital. They did not call it a medical facility. Kevin Owens, like I said, he pile drove Randy Orton. The next day on WWE socials, they said that Randy sustained this, like, it was some stupid, goofy medical.
It always is, bro. It was like a cervical compression. You know,
cervical compression, like nucleosis. It's always like it's always like some dipshit backstage is looking to a medical book and like pops out a word and is like, let's call it that, you know. So Randy Orton clearly is going to be out for a while based on like the kayfabe injury here to his spine and neck. So he's been written off. Kevin Owens is a piece of shit. And there's been a lot of like dumb conversations about this angle that I have no interest in entertaining here because I don't have the time to do that. All I simply have to say about it, Monty, was it was well done and it was treated like a very grave transgression. And I like when pile drivers paralyze people personally.
it was fucking awesome.
Terry Funk gave Ric Flair a pile driver after his match with Steamboat at Wrestle War '89. And it was treated like the biggest, most heinous, violent transgression and crime ever committed by mankind. So
it still is.
Right, absolutely. So I thought it was a hell of an angle. And I hope Cody and Kevin Owens is the Survivor Series match.
Yeah, I loved it, man. Like, I loved all of it. Like Randy Orton charging to the ring, cutting his promo. Kevin Owens coming out, all security and shit around him. Kevin is right. Well, Kevin was right on his t-shirt, you know. And you know the brawling, and next thing you know, there's like a scramble and stuff. Randy Orton ends up in that fatal position, you know. Kevin Owens, he pounces, he hits him with the pole drive, and you're like, oh my god. Like, it's just, and all the people around, and like Randy Orton's like, I can't feel my arm and shit. And it's like, it's just, you know, there's panic, there's a stretcher,
Randy was shaking like,
This is what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's not about like seeing people like, it was such a safe pole driver. Like, yeah, of course it fucking was. Like, there's a point. It's how it's sold, and how it's sold not by just Randy, but everybody around Randy in the angle. Like I said, there was panic and everything, and you know how it's treated on the broadcast, like, you know, getting stretchered off, Cody being there like, while he's being stretchered into the ambulance, and it was just like it was a big fucking deal, you know. And that's how any angle like that should be treated, to be honest. You know, if you're gonna do like that big you know, you're gonna do a stretcher job, you know, let's do it properly, you know. None of this baby shit.
Absolutely. So I thought that was well done. And those are pretty much your big talking points from SmackDown. I want to know what your guys' personal talking points, because we're going to go into some super chats.
Hold on.
What?
No, nothing. Don't get so defensive, you know.
What?
Just hold on a minute, you know. Predictions, Ibu. I need a prediction from you. First, Women's United States Champion. Who are you going for?
It's going to be either Meechin or Chelsea Green.
I'm going with Yim. Go with me, Yim. You know, do the right thing. There's something else I wanted to add about Roman, but you know, a lot of people have been starting to get critical of him, man. You know,
he's not.
Honestly, you know what though? Like you said, like most of the stuff he's done since he's come back, like it hasn't been particularly that interesting. But you know, like the face-to-face he had with Cody. No, not with Cody. With Solo.
Yes,
and he was like, I told my dad I'd fix this for the family, and Like, I thought that was quite good from Roman, to be honest. But like, not much else, you know. Like, it's not like he's bad either. It's just not particularly like, you know.
Bro,
like, obviously, it's Roman Reigns, bro. Like he's a beast. Like, it's just,
he needs to challenge himself artistically, bro. We've seen these Bloodline segments for years. You're a babyface now. Do things differently. That's the bottom line. I've had enough of just brooding Batman Roman staring at a guy and talking slowly and making the same faces. Like, it's tedious. Like, do different dynamic shit. Challenge yourself the way your fucking cousin The Rock does. So
Dwayne.
Yeah, he's very good.
Oh, he's the best. All right, let's do these super chats then. Start with this one. Victor Gonzalez, $10. Either any word on plans for Okada after the C2 run. Bucks seem to be turning face, and I worry he may get lost in the shuffle. He's weird to book, but also shouldn't be booked like an afterthought, in my opinion.
He's gonna work with Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah. A lot of pressure going into that. It's all Dave Meltzer ever says when that match is brought up. And I wonder,
He's all nervous and shit.
yeah, like I'm not sure how much Wrestling Observer Radio this audience listens to. But I know you listen to it, but it's like every time it's brought up, he's like, "Oh, that's a lot of pressure." You know, those were the greatest matches of all time.
It's funny that Dave says that because like Dave has become so much more lenient in the years since 2017 to where if Kenny and Okada have like a shoot 4.25, Dave's gonna give it a 5 anyway. So like, what are you freaking out about? You know what I mean? Like if they have a 4.25, 4.5, Dave's gonna be like, oh, it was incredible. It wasn't what it was in 2017, but it was incredible. And he's gonna give it a 5. So what are you freaking out about? I look at it the way I looked at Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat had the best matches of the 80s in America in 1989. And in 1994, they resumed their feud. And Steamboat is 41, 42 at this point. Ric Flair is 45. And of course, they're not in their primes, but they still had great matches. If the Steamboat Flair trilogy in the 89 was 5-star matches, in 94, they had a 4.25 at Spring Stampede. It happens. I don't think fans are going to be like, oh, it wasn't the fucking Wrestle Kingdom.
I was worried that there might be, so
nah. And the other thing is, I'm pretty secure that like they'll have a very, very, very strong match.
Yeah. All right. Ryan, $6.99 Canadian. Appreciate you. Kooky gotta be a 2026 first overall WWE ID pick. Tall, Noah's first champ, Marigold.
Ryan meant to say women. Ryan meant to say Noah's first women.
Noah's, yeah, she won that. It's early this morning, wasn't it? Noah's first champ, Marigold, up and comer. Plus, she wants to wrestle for the WWE.
Maybe.
Yeah, see how it develops. 2026, brother. Still a long time to go. Promising start to a career, though. Obviously. So. All right, the house has spoken for 99. Appreciate it. If you had the chance, how would you pitch an AEW developmental or ID system to Tony Khan?
They don't need an ID system based on how they run their business. Developmental, I spoke extensively about this a couple days ago, but the shortest version is I just simply think that they should also recruit collegiate athletes because so many people slip through the ranks in college. So they could easily find D2, D3 athletes that don't make it to the pros and simply just say, hey, would you like to be a pro wrestler, and offer them whatever it's going to be, like a 5-figure deal to train. You have your local schools that train them. The people running the schools could just be your coaches and some of the lower card veterans on the roster. And then from there, after some training, you send them to one of your affiliate promotions to get reps, whether it's Rev Pro, whether it's CMLL or New Japan. These guys can do dark matches, tags, whatever you want it to be. Maybe they can get on the main cards. After maybe a couple months to a year of that, they can then what's the word I'm looking for? They can then be called over to AEW at TV. They could do some dark stuff there. They could be repackaged if you want to do that. You could run vignettes for them. You could have them in Ring of Honor, so on and so forth. But I definitely think that they should look into doing something like that.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pretty much every step of the way on that one, to be honest. There's got to be like something in place, But yeah. Somchanko, 35 Zar, appreciate you as always. Wrestlers working hard does not mean they deserve a title run or push. Hard work is the minimum requirement. Output and quality trump industry.
I agree.
At the internet wrestling
community. I hate the mentality of like, enough. This person needs to start doing jobs because it's this person's turn now because they work hard. It's like everybody works hard. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like it's the stupidest shit.
Some Chunko 34 again. Either I deserve credit for pointing out the Braun/Heyman/Bloodline link months ago, even before you. I think that's why Braun feuded with Jay and Sammy.
This is cute, some Ganda, but I reported in January that Paul Heyman had an unconventional pitch for Braun Breaker.
Yeah. You'll die on that hill as well.
Yes, I will never, because I'll never forget how eerie and ominous that was when it was said to me. It just went, Heyman has an unconventional idea for him. I'm like, what do you mean by that? And it's like, it's just a different idea. And I'm like, okay.
Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate it as always. Do you think Tony Khan will make any offers for talent that already signed a WWE ID deal?
No. No.
Scott, $6.99 Canadian. Appreciate it as always.
Imagine fighting over Jack Cartwheel. Like, why would you do that?
Anyway, Scott, $6.99 Canadian. Appreciate it as always. I looked into the people signed to ID, and a few of them look good. They could be something promising. Yeah, that's what they're going to do, brother.
We'll get into it very shortly. I would tell you this up front, Monty. There are 2 wrestlers on the ID label that are like TV ready, as in like you could have them start this week NXT. There's 2 of them. There's a couple others that I would say those are good ones to have. Keep an eye on them, let them continue to brush up and get better, and then maybe roll them out in a breakout tournament or something relatively in a couple months. And then there's like a couple other ones where they're very, very green and they're absolute projects, but I could see why they garnered interest. 2 wrestlers. Find out which 2 wrestlers I think are TV ready right now.
Austin Kinko, $5. Appreciate it as always. If he's 100% correct about NXT needing a soft reset, way too many acts on there with 0 main roster upside or future, wasting TV time.
Yep.
Yeah, I tend to agree as well, man. Black Yakuza 94, $5. Appreciate it as always. So Cantoni, please remember that he has a women's division. 10 minutes of wrestling for 4.5 hours of shows is egregious. Yeah, we're on a good week for the
women,
yeah, for the AEW women's divisions in terms of like spotlight and stuff like that the past week or so, as outlined in the super chat. So you need to get better there. Go Birds, $4.99. Appreciate you as always. Hey guys, is Inamura good? Also, Ibu, are we flinching on Punk?
Yoshiki Inamura is very, very good. Right now, as we speak on this NXT roster, he would be the 3rd best wrestler on this roster, maybe 2nd, on the men's side. Very strong. I don't know why Noah's handled him the way they have in the last couple of years. It's very strange. He's a 31-year-old guy, Monty, and he took time off. He came back. They relaunched him for some reason as a character named Yoichi, and he faces Kaito Kiyomiya in the main event of God, I forgot the name of the show, but it was the big show that had AJ Styles facing Marufuji, and he has an excellent main event with Kaito. And then like a couple days later, they send him to Progress. And before that, actually, he changed his name back. So they changed his name, then they changed it again, then they send him over to the UK to do Progress, and they framed it as like a learning excursion. And it's like, what learning? He's a 31-year-old grown man who's been wrestling in your promotion for a couple of years now, and he's one of your better wrestlers. It's very, very odd. Last year, Monty, he accompanied Keiji Muto at WrestleMania weekend last year when Regal. I
remember that.
Yeah, it was Yoshiki. It was supposed to be Kaito and Muto, and I don't care what anybody tells you. I 100% believe that Muto is basically showing WWE like, hey, this is Kaito, like, right price. We can do something. We'll give you Kaito, you give us some money and some, send us some guys.
Get acquainted,
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be. Kaito got a concussion right before Mania weekend. They send Yoshiki Inamura instead, and he got a look at the PC at that time. And fast forward now, he will be working with NXT for a little bit, and who knows how long that lasts. But I can tell you this, he's absolutely somebody who should be pushed in the main event scene. If Sean was any good at his job, he would give this guy the Morishima ROH run. Who knows if that happens here? But he's a big. That's the other thing is he's a big dude. Like now, that's relative to the roster of Noah. So I don't know how he'll compare to these like NIL dudes size wise. They may just look like the exact same. But in Noah,
he got Obafemi on the roster,
Right. But in Noah, he stood out as a big dude. So maybe that's neutralized here completely. Maybe he's like really just 6 foot tall and he's just burly, so it just looked big over there. But big boy, big muscular boy. There's a lot of like good power offense, power slams and things like that. So I'm a fan of him more. I've always thought he was very good. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Are we flinching on Punk? Yes, we are.
Brewski Buddha, $5. Appreciate ya. It's Matsy. Just want to give a shout out to the WrestlePurists and Fortune 4 crew. Y'all are the only reason to hop on Twitter. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Shout out Fortune 4, obviously. Okay. Hush 499, appreciate it as always. Any update with Street Profits? After seeing Tez's promo, feels like they're playing into it. Do they have Motor City Machine Guns drop this early, or is it a breakup angle?
I don't know. That is my short answer. I don't know.
Maybe.
I could go back and forth about it, but I don't know.
Kale, 50 pesos, appreciate it as always. Roman makes the most, oh my god, I'm so conflicted faces ever, and then walks through the curtain with a smirk thinking, that's how you do it.
Roman, I'm so conflicted. Once again. Yeah.
That's his that's his beat. SMG, $5, appreciate it. Rock entering War Games for the last 5 minutes, hitting all his moves and winning the match. No one does it better.
So the funniest thing about this is there's a lot of people that are like, oh, he's not going to do War Games. Guys, if he does this match, he's not going to bump. Like, it's nobody is saying he's going to walk in there and work for 25 minutes.
Not selling a fucking thing.
No, he's going to slow stroll in there and just do his stuff. Like,
his thing, you know,
very deliberately and slowly.
Velocifactor 499, appreciate it. What does Triple H and Heyman think of Oba the God? The NXT men's division is bad, but he can rule unopposed. Main roster would be a problem. Too many beasts right now, bro. Come on. Look who? Fucking Bronson Reed. Give me a fucking break. You know,
it would be premature to call him up now.
Not right now. And look, I'm with you on that because we've already said that a few times over the past few weeks because there was those reports about like NXT call ups and stuff, and then there was that rumor going around that Oba was getting called up after he got after he failed to reclaim the North American title. But now he needs to, as the start of this super chat says, he needs to run that NXT men's division with the world title at the top of the division, like give him that NXT world title run for a bit, let him dominate, see what we can get out of him, you know. But yeah, his North American title rate was really, really good, considering, you know, he's still so early in his career in terms of amount of matches he's had. It's fucking, like I said, when it happens, when it comes to like the other beasts on the main roster, like your Bronson Reeds and you've got Braun Strowman's, obviously he's not getting any younger, and he's like, you know, he's had some pretty brutal injuries. Who else is there, Bill? Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu is obviously like an animal. Do you know what I mean? But in terms of like big beasts, you know, what's the chat saying? Who else? Bron and Jacob, yeah, they're like beasts, but they're more like kind of like athletic fucking freaks almost, especially Bron. Jacob Fatu more so, but they don't have like the same sort of imposing presence as Obafemi, because Obafemi obviously is like fucking 6'6" or whatever he is. So Oist, you know what I mean? Oh, come on, bro. You know, Obafemi's gonna be clear of all these people. Obviously Gunther's Gunther, and yeah. Anyway, Anthony 499. I spent my Sunday arguing with a Liv stan saying that, quote, Rhea doesn't get put people over. Well, I'm sorry you spent your Sunday doing that.
Yeah, why would you do that? I made a tweet. Okay? I won't get into this. Like, I made a tweet though, Monty, and I got quoted by like 20 Liv stands, and like I just like chuckled and like didn't. I read like 2 of them and just closed. I was like, why don't
you gotta think you're well, you know, you're a chiseled veteran at this point when it comes to
and to be honest with you, like, pushback only makes me mad depending on like if I like even mildly respect someone's opinion. But like, no offense.
That's the thing, bro.
Like I was reading it from some of these people, and I was like, these people don't know shit about wrestling. So
you remember like even like well over a year ago, man. Like what did I always used to say to like our friends in the space? Like, who cares? Like, who are these random people? Like, why are you replying to X, Y, and Z and stuff? You know, it's like, who are they?
it depends. Sometimes people will just like say something about you that's like so false, and it'll get like 40 likes, and you're like,
if it gets traction, then you want to address something like a false claim, and that's obviously different. And like you said, if it's someone that you respect, or if it's a friend in the space and you want to have a genuine back and forth conversation, debate, even an argument, it's like, then yeah. But like when it's just like fucking randoms, you know, getting it's a hellhole that app is, as you're well experienced in it.
right.
Oh, you have a hard time on there, you know.
CM Punk posted himself watching a movie. I think
there's like a diversion of a.
Is this a movie screen or is this a picture? What is this? Is it a diversion? It's tough. See, I hate this wrestler mindfuck shit that these guys do. Jordan Grace and MJF, they love doing that. They love like being like, "Hey, I'm home here," and it was like pre-recorded, and they're not home at all. But the dream does look like it's dying, you know. So we'll see. We'll see.
We go again. Robert Collins.
I just opened up my. I should never. The Punk camp has gotten back to me.
What has the Punk camp said? Is it safer on the air or?
Don't. No one aggregate this. If you aggregate this, I'll never do a scoop ever again.
Because that works.
Apparently, today is quote CM Punk's day off. It's over.
All right, Robert 499. Appreciate you. Bloodline cinema is old news. Oh, what's up?
No, I said pour one out. Pour one out. You know.
All right. Robert 499. Appreciate it. Bloodline cinema is old news. The true freaks are clamoring for the. Kimonito and Kimalita. No. Kemonito / Kimalito blood feud in CMLL.
Malito. Mal means evil or bad. Malito is the evil mini in CMLL.
I saw the clips.
It's real shit. It's real shit. And it is a better storyline than the Bloodline. Yes.
That's the same super chat, but appreciate you again, brother. Victor Gonzalez 499, appreciate you. He says, is AJ Styles really hurt right now, or are they doing some sort of Unk can't hang with the youth angle? Need him to be world champ one last time, to be honest.
Well, God, this is going to take another 10 minutes to go through. Look, they maintain that he's hurt for real. There are a lot of things early on that didn't pass the smell test, and I vehemently thought he was working at the beginning. I will concede now that if it is still a work, it's one of the more ambitious works in recent memory.
Benjamin, $5. Rock in War Games will be like Okada in Blood and Guts. Work it at 30% speed and no bumps. But it won't even be that. Yeah, Okada was like an actual entrant, and like you said, 30% speed didn't take a lot of bumps. Dwayne's taking
nobody's gonna
no bumps. Just gonna hit a few moves. You know, might even just hit one move. To be honest,
it might literally just be a rock bottom, and then like he just puts his foot on someone's chest.
Yeah. His entrance may take longer than it does for him to do his business in the actual cage, you know. Like, this is Blind we're talking about, and he's gonna get Wrestler of the Week from me that week. So prepare for it, people. All right, we got a bunch of blue super chats, $2 super chats that we can just speed through real quick. And as a sort on $2, appreciate it. Can Miss Hay a political way to the title, please?
It wouldn't work.
Darren Walker, £2, appreciate you. Also, if the Ibu's review of Bully Ray on NXT,
not happening.
That was ages ago, man. Oh, come on, give it up. Darren Walker, £2. Get Rikishi on creative. Solo beats Cody for the world title. Come on,
he doesn't know ball
again. And that's a sort on $2. All the tape shows kill my love for the sport.
Yeah,
I don't mind it.
I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Why?
Spoilers get out, and they're not as eventful because they know that if they do something too big on a tape show, it gets out. So like now there's exceptions. Like there was some tape SmackDown recently where they had like the Bloodline all put their ones up and shit like that. But like generally speaking, they have these very low stakes TV shows on taped shows. Like they're very low stakes, and the second night of the taping, like the second show, the energy in the crowd isn't as high. So I'm not a big fan of tape TV.
I'm not I'm not too opposed to it, to be honest. I'll get what you mean about not wanting to do anything too significant because of obviously all the leaks that come out. But in terms of like avoiding spoilers, I'm pretty decent at that anyway. So, yeah. To $2, appreciate you. You guys excited for the double belt live promos? The Saudi champs aren't gonna have the belts with them all year, I don't think so.
I think Tio is talking about Liv winning the women's tag titles tonight.
No, that's not happening. Hush 199.
I've just had enough, you know. But whatever.
Unlikely, like you know as well. You'd be like, unlikely. You like me?
Let's just go to the next super chat. I don't want to do this. I don't.
Like, it's
just don't. I've had enough.
Hush 199.
I've just had enough. I'm not doing this.
Man covered his ears. Hush 199. Cappuccino Jones from Coffeeville. Huge pop. He rules. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys are watching the Dynamite review, but like that's when the news broke when we was live on air, and I popped huge. Can't lie. Corey David, $2. Ibu, has WWE or AEW ever offered you a job?
I can't comment on
that. Alex Leroy, $2.79 Canadian. Any updates on AEW's expectations with new production?
No.
Berkey, $1.99. Hashtag free Anna till it's backwards.
Facts.
100%. Corey David, $2. Appreciate you as always. Y'all should look up Bailey Humphrey, new NXT female. Will do.
Let's.
Corey David, $2.
Instagram.
Image's gonna be like, I already follow her, bro.
All right, let's see here.
Corey David, $2. NXT booked 4.
Oh.
What are you reacting to, Bill? You know.
Corey David, $2. NXT booked 4 women's matches to 1 men. Thought. Yeah, I think their men's division sucks and their women's division has a bunch of interesting people you want to see. So it makes sense to have more women's matches than men's matches. That makes sense. The proportion distribution here makes complete sense.
The House of Spoken 199. Is Punk part of the WWE ID or is he just hyping it up?
I would say that he is I don't want to get aggregated. Fuck. I'll say this. Stay tuned. There's things to come regarding ID that you can look forward to that he may or may not be involved with.
That stay tuned, you know.
I don't know.
Ryan, $2.79 Canadian, appreciate you. They kind of set up Bronson could kill Priest.
He could. He's a bad man.
Kale, 20 pesos, appreciate you. Free of super chat. Jar at last. Cora Jade sucks. I mean, come on, man.
I mean, I'm not gonna fight for Cora Jade's honor. So
yeah, I mean, come on, man. Just no need. Anyway, Hush 199. Dwayne Jacob across the ring. Roman and Braun. Aura. Hey man, real music. Anthony 199. Sup fellas? Let's pray EO gets the belt. Hashtag go Cavs.
Fuck the Cavs.
Vernacular 199. Need Mitchin with the US belt to set the standard. I agree. And Jampian $2. Mox echoing Kenny's 80% statement. He's kind of beast. Yeah, kind of. And Jampian $2. Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty on the way. Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty on the way to being godly shows. Hashtag Demon Home.
Yeah, I think Wrestle Dynasty is going to be the best show that takes place on Japanese soil in a couple of years. That's what I would say. And
Ryan.
yeah, we'll park it there. So I'll do the New Japan thing now. So
Mhm.
Fighting Spirit Unleashed happened over the weekend, and
It did.
it's typical New Japan USA show where like the later end of the card is like good. It's good. But it's like those. It's the kind of good that like if it was just in domestic soil would be like very good to great. If that makes any sense. And it also kind of suffers from like the production issue, values issue, and that type of thing. But nevertheless, solid show. TJP versus Konosuke Takeshita. Like, I mean, in Japan, if TJP was just wrestling, it would probably be excellent. But he's TJP, so he had to be the Asswang Monty. And so he was the Aswang character, and he was doing a lot of lore and magic and spookiness, and that matches whatever. Yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. and Bad Dude Tito tagged against Ishii and Shota Umino. Shota back on the gas, finding his way again. Had some good exchanges with ZSJ. They had a good match. Shota cut a promo after the match, and John Moxley appeared on the screen and pretty much told Shota that he was because Shota was his former young boy, and he told him that he was going to deploy one of his guys to face him at Wrestle Dynasty. So you could expect either Shota Umino versus Claudio, Pac, or Yuta in the Tokyo Dome. So that should be a very good undercard match. Also added to the Tokyo Dome, Konosuke Takeshita, Monty. He will be facing Shingo Takagi at Wrestle Dream. Not Wrestle Dream, at Wrestle Kingdom. I'm sorry. Gee, there's too many Wrestle shows.
It's at Wrestle Dynasty.
Listen.
No.
Takeshita.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's because they did a lot on that show, bro. Well,
right.
Carry on, as you were.
Takeshita's facing Shingo at Wrestle Kingdom, and that will be excellent. Very, very, very high chance that's the best match on that night. On Wrestle Dynasty, he will be facing the reliably consistent and great Tomohiro Ishii. One of those matches where it's like you know exactly what that looks like. That'll happen like fourth from the top. They're gonna go like 15 minutes and it's gonna be sick. So, like I said, Dynasty looks fucking awesome. Jack Perry also, Monty, made an appearance. Jack Perry will be facing Yota Tsuji. I want to say that's on Dynasty. So in a weird way, Dynasty has like double the amount of talent because it's just kind of how the maths work because they have AEW talent access. But yeah, Dynasty looks great. Wrestle Kingdom does look very interesting though. So that's gonna be a fun back-to-back 2 days. Do we know what day of the week Dynasty and Kingdom are?
Give me a few seconds. The 4th and 5th, isn't it? Yeah, right. Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday. If it's Sunday, it's Japanese time, so it'll be like Sunday morning, right?
No idea.
Yeah, no, it will be. It'll be early Sunday morning. So if that's the case, I'm thinking about how we could maybe handle this. That'll be interesting. We may have to come up with something special there, maybe. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the additions. What do you think of the card additions, Monty?
Yotasuji, how much of the angle did you see with Jack Perry?
Oh, I missed it, unfortunately.
So they win the match. LIJ do, like him and Shingo, and everyone clears the ring, and like Shingo leaves Yota in the ring by himself, and he looks like Yota might cut a promo, but he doesn't. He goes to get out the ring, and then all the lights go off. All the lights go off, and then like this video package plays, and it's this guy, and he's doing like metal work, and he's making like this rough looking knife, and then he stabs a picture of Yota Tsuji, and then Jack Perry just attacks him. And like he gets a lot of heat, to be fair. The crowd starts calling him a pussy, and then he cuts like a little promo about how like he wants to wrestle him at Wrestle Dynasty, and yeah, that was the match set up. And he went to go hit his finish on him again, and Shingo makes a save. And that was the angle for Jack Perry Yota Tsuji. no reason why he wants to wrestle Yotsuji. He's just decided that he's just decided he's a target.
It's kind of real. Yeah.
I thought the opener on this show, Kevin Knight versus Finlay, I thought that was a nice little opener. I thought, to be honest,
Kevin Knight's awesome, man.
he's good. Yeah, he's good, man. Like I said, they had a solid, nice opener.
Mm-hmm.
What else on this show? What else was on this show? Your favorite tag team, GYV. They won the strong tag titles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, they did.
They did. They did. Kose Fujita versus Gaiki versus it was okay. It was okay, bro. But you know what?
Gabe Kid and Fujita were the main event of the show.
Yeah, like I feel like I like Gabe Kid a lot, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you feel the same way about this. I feel like he struggles to fill out longer matches.
Yeah, because his approach is pretty direct and one note in a way where it's like he almost feels suited to just have 13-minute, get all your energy out of your system and then go home type of matches. And he has these long matches where his heat segment consists of just chopping it and like, get up, pussy, fuck you.
And he's cutting promos and that, in the middle of the match. And I'm like, bro,
you little cunt. And it's like, all right, man,
Like I said, I like Gabe Kid a lot. It's just
Kenny's gonna get the best match out of him ever that he's ever had.
Yeah,
but
he's gonna make him.
Right. But and I like his attitude, you know what I mean? I like that kind of full of piss and vinegar attitude. But like you said, he struggles in control sections, So I wonder what's the next evolution in his game, if anything.
Yeah, definitely. He's like I said, I like him a lot. He's a good wrestler. It's just it's usually the top tier wrestlers that have no problems going 25 minutes or whatever it is, 20 minutes plus. But regarding the kind of what else has been set up for the January 4th weekend, what else was there? There's Jack Perry and Yota Tsuji. Takeshita versus Shingo is going to be pornography.
Yes.
What else was there? Anything else?
There was Takeshita Shingo, Takeshita Ishii, and Jack Perry versus Tsuji. So
okay, yeah. Takeshita Ishii is just everything you just said it will be. Everyone already knows what that looks like. So
you know exactly what it looks like. It's gonna go 14 minutes. Dave's gonna give it 4 3/4 stars. Yeah. So yeah, man. The Tokyo Dome shows are good, and I'm excited for them. I hope they add some CMLL to the show because they advertised CMLL.
Oh, Mercedes.
Right. Who's she working?
See, we forgot to see Hazuki. I'm not sure if that's going to be on Dynasty or Wrestle Kingdom, but that's who she confronted at the
because
show. So that might be a strong match.
She won the 4-way. Yeah. So that'll be a good match.
I love Hazuki quite a lot.
Yeah. Do they do that at the Tokyo Dome for Wrestle Kingdom? I'm not sure. That feels like a Dynasty. Also, that feels like a Dynasty one. Let me see the full lineup now on this show.
I think that could be a New Japan Strong show, though.
True. All right, so
I feel like they might go I don't want to throw Tama or something.
This show looks fun. Yeah, we got the Bucks are gonna face a team to be announced, so we'll see who that's gonna be. That'll be interesting. I could see it being could they do? No, they can't. I was gonna say, could they do Tanahashi and Ibushi, for example? But Ibushi is Persona non.
Hazuki versus Mercedes is on New Japan Strong. The December 15th show. You fucking mark.
Yo, that scared the shit out of me.
I was right, and you still get called a mark. That's crazy, bro.
That freaked me It's like AO popped out of a portal. That scared the shit out of me. Yeah, I figured that was going to be a strong show match. I'm looking at the Dynasty lineup right now, and ZSJ versus fucking Ricochet. That's going to be so sick. This show looks fun. This is going to be a really good show. So, those are your new matches for Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty. We are under 2 months away from these two shows, and I'm very excited for them. So, that was your New Japan update. Looking ahead to AEW, Monty. Looking at Dynamite. Let's see here. What's up?
He was pretty spot on about the direction with Swerve and Leo stuff.
Yeah. I'm always on point with these things. Always on point with these things. So, looking at Dynamite. Adam Cole versus Konosuke Takeshita, where if Adam Cole wins, he will earn a match against MJF at Full Gear. And while if he and Roderick Strong are both victorious, it will become a triple threat match. Speaking of Roderick Strong, Monty, he faces Lance Archer. If Roderick Strong beats Lance Archer, he will earn a match against MJF at Full Gear. So, Roddy versus Lance, Takeshita versus Cole. If they both win their matches, it's a triple threat. If one of them loses, if the other guy wins, they're going to get MJF. So we'll see what happens there. I made the announcement / report a couple weeks ago on the WrestlePurists Raw review that you could expect a major match for Roderick Strong at Full Gear. I was told at that point that the plan was going to be Roddy versus MJF. And I think that makes sense because Max has missed this entire pay-per-view cycle due to movie filming. So I'd imagine he comes back on the pay-per-view, he beats Roddy, and then he builds the stuff with Cole on TV in live segments for World's End. So
he ain't beating Takeshita, bro.
Right, yeah. So I expect Takeshita to whoop Cole's ass, and I expect Roddy to beat Lance Archer.
Yeah, we can't be having Cole beating our glorious Takeshita. Not on my watch.
No, that's not happening. So those are interesting. Cole versus Takeshita feels like a setup. Like, why are you making Cole look crazy like that? But Roddy versus Archer might be fucking awesome. Christian Cage and Hangman Page are teaming against Jay White and Juice Robinson. That's fascinating. That's very fascinating. Again, Hangman Page and Jay White are going to be facing each other at Full Gear, so that looks like to be a very solid tag match. FTR versus the House of Black. This is Brody King and Malachi Black against FTR in a AEW Full Gear Contender Series. So one of those weird matches where I'm not sure what team goes over, because in theory, you'd imagine both of those, both are push tag teams. So we'll see what happens there.
I'm gonna go with FTR.
Right. Leo Rush versus Swerve Strickland. Very excited for that. Britt Baker versus Penelope Ford. I'm sure you're very excited for that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. Very wrestling heavy show this week. 6 matches. 5 of them look to be interesting, if not very good. The plus, Will Ospreay appears, Bobby Lashley appears, Mina Shirakawa to appear, and John Moxley will, quote, seize the Superstation TBS. So yeah, interesting lineup. A lot of shit. I don't know how they fit that. I'm wondering like what match here goes short. Like, is maybe Cole Takeshita goes to a DQ? I could see that. I could see some type of Callis family. You know what it could be? MJF. He sent that dude to talk to Don, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That mysterious tall black man.
Yeah. I think what they're gonna do.
What's going on there, bro?
He's gonna pay the Callis family to get involved with Cole or some shit, and basically be like, "Hey, man, I don't want to deal with Adam Cole. Handle that one for me," and they'll probably handle that one for him, something like that. Like they don't. Tony, look, it would be sick if Takeshi just whooped his ass, but Tony loves Cole and he's gonna protect him. I think that match goes to a DQ. Again, it's a 6-match show. One of these is getting like short. You know what I mean? It's gonna be short. So I think that one's a DQ. And then one of these other ones is like a glorified angle, maybe. Britt Baker, Penelope Ford. It's an AEW women's match with Britt Baker. That's going like 6 minutes. Because then you also have these, like I said, Osprey's going to appear. Bobby's going to appear.
Jamie.
Mox is going to seize the Superstation. So we'll see how they time the show out. But they're usually good at fitting a lot of stuff. But Dynamite does look interesting this week. Anything that catches your eye, Monty?
Leo Rush versus Swerve.
Yeah,
helps me tremendously. I'm fully locked in on the Hurt Syndicate at this point. I want to see what John Moxley seizing Superstation will entail. What that means. Who's he hog tying? You know, like, what's going on there? Yeah, man, it's dynamite, and we'll see how it goes. You know, it's either going to be a good show or it's going to be a show that causes paragraphs on Twitter the next day.
Absolutely. I saw a tweet that said, "I'm going to do my best to avoid talking about that Raw spoiler until the show starts, but I'm freaking out right now. What could possibly happen?" That's like a probably some bullshit.
Final battle, Hammerstein, Nibble.
Yeah, maybe I go. Maybe I go. Hopefully Jericho doesn't. Hopefully Jericho doesn't main event.
I mean, he probably is. But like...
No. They're gonna end Athena's title reign, so that's gonna close the show.
Well, who's beating Athena? Who's facing Athena?
Well, it's not set yet because the show itself hasn't even been announced officially. So it probably be.
Yeah, I mean, as in like who's she feuding with at the moment? Like, I have no idea.
I don't know, but I'd imagine she loses to Billy Starks. So we'll see. Sorry, I was opening a message, but
Billy Starks is what the chat is telling me.
That's what I just told you. I said it's probably gonna be Billy.
Yeah, well, I don't trust you because you don't watch it. So it's like, Go on, even. What's in the messages? You work in the phones whilst live on the air.
Yeah, a bunch of people are like sending me things and shit. It's like,
yeah, if you're not got news to share with the people, it's
well,
you know what I mean? Get off your phone.
It might be. That's what I'm trying to think. See, the problem with people is they'll message me while I'm live, and they won't be very clear and concise. When I'm like doing something, what is yo supposed to do for me? Like, what the fuck does that mean? It's the fuck, like, you know what I mean? Like what? But
you can reply to those messages whilst you're watching Raw.
I guess. All right, Monty, let's finish these super chats so we can go through this ID shit.
Mike G, $5, appreciate you. Adam Cole versus Takeshita is going to be like that one time Statman thing was in the ring with Gresham. Alex Leroy, appreciate just a blank super chat. Ryan, $2.79 Canadian. Tony Khan going to tell Cut Jags to head to the ring.
Any updates on Penta? MASP 199. No updates on Penta.
Hush 199. Saw the rundown. I think Punk Dream is on pause. Heartbroken emoji.
Yeah, it's not looking good at all.
The final boss 199. Congrats to Big Bro on the GQ cover. Hashtag fuck Mama Rhodes.
Really, really bad drip there. Really, really bad drip.
You just don't listen. There's some art in that photo shoot,
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. The pictures with the dog, the pictures in the all black, picture with no shoes on, the shorts, close-ups, it's I'll tip my hat to GQ. Providing a few pops for me this afternoon. Black Yakuza 94, $2. Gunther versus Priest, 6.5 on cage match. 3 stars from Dave.
I like their first match. Maybe they could pull it out a second time. We'll see.
NJPW, $2. Bald Dragon, ? Mox, count your days, you freak.
I did see that Bryan Danielson shaved his head, and it made me very, very excited. We're probably a while away from him coming back, though, unless he doesn't have to get actual surgery on his neck.
Tio, $2. Ibu, a secret leave stand. Hashtag watch me. Hashtag revenge tour.
No.
Stand's a bit far. That's where being a stand of any wrestler is where you kind of ruin the fun. It's like I like live, but a stand that's a bit aggressive. It's you see what the stands are doing out there on the Twitter. It's a nasty world out there. You know what I mean? But, I was going to ask you something. Did you get round to watching Big Davey Boy win the Triple Crown?
Yeah, I did.
He's all right, wasn't he?
Did you see it?
Yeah,
it was good.
I mean, he's when he got on the mic after, it was a bit,
It was a little aggressive. The first thing that popped me, Monty, was he came out to his dad's theme song. That was the All Japan theme of the British Bulldogs tag team with his dad and Dynamite Kid. dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. So when he came out to that, I'm like, oh baby, let's go.
Settled in.
I'm settled in.
Lit your cigar.
Yeah, he's working a 70s style All Japan match, doing bridging suplexes and shit. I'm like,
Mhm.
let me strap in.
Big strong athlete,
Yeah, Ansai's creating a movement for him. I'm like, all right, they do like a superplex spot. I'm like, yo, man, this match is doing some things. If you remember, I told you last week, this is a 3.5. I'm going to be shameless, and it passed the test.
It kind of was. Yeah.
It passed the test. Genuinely, no bullshit. I was telling my boy Mookie, I am locked in on every Triple Crown title defense. This guy, when they put that graphic over him, when he faces Yuma Anzai or Kento Miyahara, which looks to be imminent, I'm locked the fuck in. So I actually really enjoyed the match quite a bit.
Good shoot.
Absolutely.
Shoot. All right, it's time for us to.
Are we finally done with super chats?
Yeah, we're doing the super chats.
Oh, let's fucking go. Okay, do me a favor, Monty. Try to pull up the ID pictures on the screen as I talk about them, if possible.
Well, get your notepad and pen ready.
Yeah. All right. So let's do that.
I got my pen.
So while Monty is preparing that, this is our final segment of the night. This is perfect, man. No super chats. You got 20 minutes to get through this. Let's do this. So
I'm just gonna go on the Twitter page, by the way.
Sure, and then just blow up.
That's got everyone in it.
Right, and then you just blow up the pictures of their like official ID thing.
Yeah. I'll put it all on screen.
Here's the deal, folks. WWE announced the Independent Discovery Program. And in case you are living under a rock, WWE is going to pay certain independent wrestlers to essentially train. And they'll basically be under their jurisdiction. They can work with their affiliate schools. They will continue to do their indie bookings and dates as they normally are. But when WWE sees that it's time, if WWE chooses to pull them in to like their system, like NXT, for example, right? They can do so. These wrestlers get offered by other organizations. WWE has right of first refusal. So if an ID person gets an AEW offer, they have to inform WWE, and WWE can either allow them to go or they can say, fuck that, no, you're coming with us. So that's the ID situation. They've named numerous schools nationwide as affiliate schools. Black and Brave by Seth Rollins, Nightmare Factory, Reality of Wrestling with Booker T. So so the ID program has been underway, and all throughout last week, Monty, they've been naming people to the ID system. I think we have like 8 or 9 people at this point. So what we're going to do now is take a look at these people and talk about them.
This is the first picture.
Yeah, that was like, what the hell was that about?
I'm
pretty sure that's Timothy Thatcher, by the way.
Yeah, the scar. So a few people point
that's Timothy Thatcher. He's involved in this program. He will be at this point training with these people allegedly. So we'll see what's going on there. But the first person ID'd was Zeta Steel. Zeta Steel came to our orbit in terms of like being known through Marigold. They credited CZW hilariously. Just put you can't click the picture itself.
I mean, yeah, sure. Well, I can just make it a bit bigger. You want?
Okay. So
I don't know why you need to be even bigger. Yeah.
Come on. I'm just saying. I don't have to see like your like recommendeds and lives and all that other shit. But yeah, no, Zeta Steel. She I first saw her through Marigold. Obviously, she was one of the Gaijins. She tagged with Myla Grace on a bunch of tags. She had a match with Bozilla. So she had a stint in Marigold, and then she got her send off a couple months ago. But she's still very young and very new to the business. A lot of people were asking like, is she good? Is she good? Like WWE fans like, oh, is she good? The truth is, she's very, very new. The upside in her pick is that it's the upside. It's the fact that like what I noticed about Zeta when I watched her was that the personality stuff, like she pretty much had that down pat. In truth, Monty, like most young female wrestlers in the business right now, they kind of all do that kind of like uppity mean girl like vibe. They do that whole thing. Like that's like everybody's go-to, you know what I mean? You know, like they flip the hair and like they kind of walk a certain way and all that type of thing. So it's like it's just kind of like the current trend, and she has all that down pat. Wrestling wise, it's still going to take some time for it all to come together for her, in truth. But again, she's new. I would not bring her to TV. She's nowhere near like a TV level wrestler at this point. She's somebody that I would continue to monitor and then maybe call to the Performance Center in a number of months. So that's my backup hangman verdict on Zeta Steel.
No, we need something numerical.
Okay, all right. So
one out of 10. What's the prospect score?
No. We won't do this. Is what we'll do. This is what we'll do. I'll write it down. Here's the tiers.
All right.
We'll do TV. That's like that's like right now, they can be on NXT TV producing at a high level.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
The next level is PC, which is get them out of the indies and get them into PC. And if I'm giving them the PC branding, that means they're a couple months away with just some brushing up and little this and that to then getting the TV. So there's TV, then there's PC, then there's monitor. Monitor is let them continue doing what they're doing and keep an eye on them. And then under monitor is why was this person picked? So that's self-explanatory. Those are your 4 tiers. So Zeta is monitor.
Okay. Fair. I'd agree with that as well. I've only seen her wrestle like twice, but I'd agree with that.
Yes, she's monitor. But I totally get why she was ID'd, which is why she is monitored and not why were you picked.
All right, so Bryce Donovan.
Bryce Donovan. The former Kurt Hawkins Monty calls him John Cena for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know what that's all about. Bryce Donovan
debuted in 2016.
Yeah, he's been around quite a bit. Not much I can say about him. He was scouted from Wrestling Open, hometown Long Beach, New York. The people that watch him say that he's very good. Over the weekend, I did some watching of his stuff. I would say that his work is very loose, and I think part of why he works the way he works, and it's kind of hard to explain if you haven't seen it, is because that maybe he just hasn't been around certain like level of professional how do I put this? He's working with people of comparable like ability levels, and it's not allowing him to get to a certain point. And what concerned me was the fact that he's been doing this for a long time, a number of years. I don't get the John Cena comparison personally, and all the things that he is good at, there are numerous wrestlers in NXT itself that are better than him at that. So Bryce Donovan, I would put at he is hovering between why was he ID'd and monitor. But again, 2016, I don't know. So there you go for Bryce Donovan.
Cappuccino Jones, Cold Brew Jones.
Cappuccino Jones. Yeah, so this guy, good-looking kid, good size, trying something different with this coffee gimmick. He is from Coffeeville. So, yeah, man, he has the finish of the decaffeinator, which if you look at the move, he's like spiking himself, which is very preposterous. He's going to need to work on that finisher and like not kill himself on that move. I watched two Cappuccino Jones matches this weekend, Monty.
Okay.
This is what I would say.
Okay.
His look is giving like Ron Killings a little bit in the ring with this, like, the type of pants he wears, hilariously enough. I totally get why they like him. I totally get why they're into just the look and the vibe of this young man. What I would say about Cappuccino Jones, who's been wrestling for 2 years, he doesn't even have extensive highlights on his own social media page. You have to go on YouTube to look up his stuff. He is monitor. He is somebody that I think in a year I would look at bringing to the Performance Center, or maybe not even a year. Maybe like it depends. Because here's the thing. You know what I really think is happening with this ID system, Monty?
Wow.
I think they realize that like with the NIL guys, even though like there's a lot of upside to NIL, it takes too long to train people from scratch. And I think the roster turnover rate in NXT, I think they want to increase it. I think they want to start bringing people up a little bit more frequently. But to be able to do that, you need to replace NXT with guys. And it's like, it takes an NIL guy like 3 years to like really get it and get at a certain level, usually. About 3 years. And I don't think they have that level of patience at the moment, unless they can be supplemented with guys who are pros. So I say all that to say, I think part of why they're getting ID people is because they want people that already like at least know how to wrestle and stuff. And they just kind of give them the WWE brush up of like, all right, well, this is how we do it our way. This This will be like your name and your gimmick over
It's
here.
a hard cam.
Right. But it's basically you walk into like, you know how to wrestle, right? They're like, yeah, I know how to wrestle. It's like, cool. Okay, now do it in this way with this name. Rather than like, can you wrestle? No. Okay, this is a drop down. This is a whatever. This is what a heel is, So anyway, I say all that to say Cappuccino Jones, very green, decent athleticism. He throws a good work punch. There we go. He throws a good work punch. So Cappuccino Jones will be monitored.
We're monitoring.
Yes, we're monitoring
Cappuccino
Jones.
All right. Jack Cartwheel.
Yes, who they refused to call Jack Cartwheel. They called him Cartwheel Jack Summit. This young man wanted to be in WWE for years. He was distraught, Monty, when they destroyed Black and Gold NXT. When they turned it into NXT 2.0 and said they didn't want indie wrestlers, he was like fucking depressed. I've seen him he's the wrestler I've watched the most out of all these guys for whatever reason.
He's the most known.
Right? Yeah, he's been on national TV. He's been on Collision. He's wrestled frequently on GCW.
He's been in. I think he's been on Bolo, hasn't he?
Yes. Dave Melcher's a huge fan of Jack Cartwheel. I would say this. Listen, he is refined at working the modern high spot independent style. He is very athletic and can do a lot of dynamic things like that. There isn't much depth to his game beyond a lot of those things. But right now, he's one of those guys that absolutely you throw him another guy and he could have like a good back and forth, like modern style wrestling match. I would say, even though I'm not here's the thing. Even though I'm not a huge fan of him, right? I would say he is right under TV level in this sense.
Yeah, I've got him in the PC tier.
So PC, not even for mainly just to like decide what they want his actual look to be on TV. Like,
I think he's got some bad habits in ring,
Well, sure.
Oh, he's just straight PC, just.
But the thing is, it wouldn't be a long piece. It would be literally like a month and then just TV, if that makes it. Because there's certain guys that they do that with. Javon Evans did like 2 months in the PC and then he just got right to TV. I do something similar because here's the thing, Monty. I don't see him as like this like guy you would build NXT around ever in general. But like you know what he feels like to me? He feels like a guy that they would throw in Chase U, for example, right? And so if that's like what you see out of the kid, and he kind of becomes a steady, reliable hand on NXT, then you really just touch him up in the PC for a little bit, and then you bring him to the TV.
Okay, so that's Jack Cartwheel.
Yes.
And Zara Zaka.
Yes. This, Monty, is one of the 2 wrestlers that I think right now should be on television. Zaka wrestles in TJPW, and she wrestles in her local indies. She is put the picture up. She's very talented. Here's the other thing about her that I really like about the scouting here. NXT, they always take like girls from a very specific archetype. It's these like slender fucking blonde girls, right? She has a very different body type, and I really hope they don't make her like drop 40 pounds. Like I really don't want that. That would really suck because they do that with people sometimes. They'll take you and if you have a unique body type, they'll be like, no, change that and fucking trim up or whatever. No, she's not like Awesome Kong, but she's not fucking like Kelly either. She's just like she's like a Haas type of girl, and she does some good offense. She has some of that Japanese influence in her wrestling. Not even Joshi. Like I'm talking like just regular like Japanese men's style wrestling in her arsenal. And she's already a really refined wrestler, and she can do a lot of really dynamic and cool moves. Zaka is somebody that I literally would run vignettes for immediately. So she's one of the 2 wrestlers that I would say are TV wrestlers right now. And when they inevitably purge the women's division and send a bunch of those girls to the main roster, she's somebody that I would throw at some of these other women that remain in NXT. So Zaka gets a big thumbs up for me. All right.
Sean Legacy.
This is Sean Legacy. He's 27 years old. This is the crown jewel of WWID, Monty.
Okay.
Could you exit this and then click his profile?
Okay, 1 second. And get off that. Sean Legacy. WWE already prospect already in the bio,
Right.
in the header.
Yes.
He's all in.
I believe, I would tell you this, Monty. I think he is the next guy you should build your brand around, or you could build your brand around. He has, you could put the video up on the screen. You can blow that up if you want, honestly.
Well, I was just gonna let it play as we scroll. And,
sure. No, don't. Here we go. Yeah, he's very. We'll let the video play. So Legacy is somebody, Monty, that's already like, he already has like the TV ready body, the TV ready look, a TV name, and he can do like a back and forth, like back athletic wrestling match. I've seen some of him before, and he just enlisted in the WXW Academy to get some work over there in Germany, and he's already gotten started there. What I would compare him to, if I had to, this will sound silly. He's like Austin Theory if Austin Theory was good. To be completely honest,
I can see that.
Similar build and physique, but like he's like good at wrestling, and like I said, he has the look, he has like the total package in my opinion, and he's somebody that like I could literally see being like the next major like long-term NXT champion. Like once you get it from the next transitional guy, he's somebody that I would build like NXT around for a couple months with like the world title. So Sean Legacy's TV level, in my opinion, and I would roll.
Oh,
what's
well,
up?
Hold on a minute.
Oh yeah, lock in on it. When are we getting this? Oh, wait a minute. wait a minute. Wait a minute. See, that's gonna be beast. That's gonna be sick. Is there a date on there? Is it a date on the tweet?
I think it's 17th of the 4th, 24th. Why would they advertise it this early though?
I mean, that's just independent wrestling. That's how they get down. Yeah, look, Legacy, I would get him to TV relatively soon. He's somebody that I would do big things with. The one benefit to ID on WWE's end, Monty, is we've been talking extensively about how their men's division is fucking awful, right? And if nothing else,
it's the booking. And so I feel like I always have to like point that out when you say this, because like when you say the men's division's awful, it's like the talent's there. It's just Sean's booking of it. It's been
the talent. The talent is iffy too, to be honest with you. I think it's top heavy. I think the top end is good, but like it's like It's
considering it's NXT, it's the third show / developmental kind of place. Then I think I don't know, nah, because like you're probably thinking like, oh, Alexis King and shit. It's like, nah, bro. Like those people shouldn't even like be fucking. You know, he shouldn't even be on the show. Like, it's even I think it's Sean's booking from top to bottom of that division. It's just. You know, because if you listed all like the decent to good to promising talents, that you have got like a nice like 10 or so wrestlers there, you know. So
yeah. So the next ones are Marcus Mathers, who is friends with my boy Mookie Summers. Mathers has gotten some GCW bookings. I got to be completely honest with you. I've seen very little of Mathers. I've watched one match. In the one match I saw, what I would say is he's in the mold of like the undersized independent guy that could do some athletic things and like is slightly unrefined in other aspects of his game, but can do some like really cool moves. He's a guy that I would PC. And then this guy, Sam Holloway, I've seen very little of, but he is the biggest and tallest guy that they have signed to their ID system. So very
TV ready.
Fuck that. Yeah, no, very clearly with this young man, Sam Holloway, they were just like, we need a big guy. We need a big kid. He's 24 years old, I believe, and he's a tall man. As you see right there in front of William, he is dwarfing William Regal, and William Regal is a very tall guy. So that's that. They got some size there. They got some size there in Sam Holloway. I'd monitor him. This is a guy I don't know why the fuck they got. This guy, let's get his name. What's his name? It's Gal. Yeah. He's not even particularly young, and he's a really bad wrestler. The only real benefit I see out of this guy is I don't know what's going on here. He has a WWE physique, but I don't know about this one.
It's in mint condition, bro.
He has this flamboyant body gimmick. Yeah, good for him, I suppose. But
real life action figure, he says, from Boston, Mass.
Yeah. This is like the most AEW dark wrestler of all time. But Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he got an ID deal, but that's the ID recruits, and yeah, that was my Mel Kiper Jr. scouting report with my draft grades. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and with that, let's close this thing out with some super chats.
Hold on.
What's up?
That Rob is telling us to check our DMs.
All right.
Okay.
I got a DM. Someone said, Ibu, I sent a $2.75 super chat, but it wasn't answered. I was wondering if there's any updates on AEW's vision with production and the overhaul in January. We did answer this. I said no, there's no updates. I remember that question.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'd expect them to. I would say this: expect them to emulate a lot of what Lee Fitting is doing.
Jose Lara 199. Yeah, it's over. Punk is home, walking his dog.
It is what it is, you know.
All right, so Ibu, you've got your announcement, haven't you?
Oh shit! I almost completely forgot about my own announcement. Let me make my tweet. Let me try to pop a.
You can't, bro. Raw's starting. It's not the time for you to give me 30 seconds to do a tweet and let people come in.
So
it's 1 a.m., brother.
All right.
Well, 1 a.m. in the UK. It's
so
6 p.m.
Like I teased, guys, I'm going to make a major announcement on this show, and it is about my future. So, this came together relatively recently, and I thought if I'm going to announce it, I'm going to announce it live on WrestlePurists Worldwide. So, I want to make it very clear that I really do appreciate you guys for all the support, the community that we've built here on WrestlePurists. I never thought that I'd get this far within this space, and I never even intended to get this far in the space. But here I am, and I appreciate what everybody's done. And I'm here to announce that starting December 2nd, I will be with Fightful. I reached a really, really good agreement with Sean Ross Sapp, a very lucrative agreement with Sean Ross Sapp. I will be with Fightful, and I will be doing their Raw post shows every Monday after Raw. Replacing the very, very talented Denise Salcedo. So Denise is leaving. I will be taking her spot in there, and I will be a part of the Fightful family. And that is the next chapter of my journey. As per the nature of the agreement and deal I signed, I will be abandoning all of my responsibilities with WrestlePurists.
Whoa. Hold on a minute. You didn't tell me all that, did you?
No, I'm kidding. I'll still be with WrestlePurists. I'll still do all the WrestlePurists shows that I'm doing now. I'm not leaving any one of them as of right now. But I will be with Fightful. So I will be a combo guard in that respect. And you can also catch me alongside Worldwide and the show that I do on Tuesdays with Rob. You can also catch me on Fightful on their YouTube channel. I will be co-hosting with Sean Ross Sapp on Mondays, and we will be talking about Monday Night Raw. So I want to thank Sean Ross Sapp and Jimmy Van for the opportunity to join the Fightful family. And it's a major step in my content career, so to speak. And that was the big personal announcement.
Yeah, so Ibu's sold out, you know. But you ain't getting out of this WrestlePurists 360 deal, you know. There's no getting out of these deals, people. But nah, shout out to Sean, obviously. You know, I was saying it to you privately. I was surprised that it's took like this long for whether it's Fightful or even one of the other big sites, you know, that like have a proper infrastructure to like shout you and want to do at least something with you, you know, because it's not like you know, you got a little bit of motion these days. Don't want to get your head too big though. So, yeah, man. Congrats. I think.
Thank you.
Oh, no, it's easier to call you a sellout, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I'm excited about the opportunity, and I hope everybody continues to support, and we'll see how it goes. But I have good feelings about it. I'm very excited, and mid takes $4.99. Thoughts on the LNG argument from Friday? Is Roxanne a prospect? Yeah, I heard that these guys went to death. They went to war in a fight to the death.
What? I don't know when he says he's Roxanne and prostitute. I haven't watched Late Night Gun yet. You two watch it on Tuesday. Well, listen to it back on Tuesdays.
So they argued about like they were talking about like who's the best in like prospect, and they were arguing like who is a prospect in wrestling. And Joe believes that Roxanne is a prospect, and they were arguing like no, she's not. She's a champion, and she's been around for da. And Joe was like she's 22, 23. She's a fucking prospect, and they were like no, she's not. She's been on TV for this amount of time, and blah 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 blah. I think it's a case-by-case nuanced conversation. Would I consider Roxanne a prospect? I'm leaning towards yes. I'm leaning towards yes still. She's in developmental. I would say vaguely. It is not for everybody, but I would say until you leave developmental, you're considered a prospect in my eyes. So
that's a fair way to look at it. Like you said, he's also just
case by case. It depends
case by case. So
like Julia's not a prospect, you know what I mean? Like Stephanie.
So the Punk Dream is it's Jova. It's Jova.
What's up?
It's graphic official.
For Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What date is Survivor Series? Chat.
Punk just posted himself walking with
November 30th. There we go. See, the chat was useless. I asked him for something, you know. Another super chat before we get out of here. Adrian 499. Does this mean Ibu's finally going to turn on the webcam for Fightful? No.
Stay tuned, I suppose.
He's not allowed, bro. He's contractually not allowed. It's like it's like the AEW deal. It's like, yeah, he can work on these other territories, but he can't do any jobs. And by do any jobs, it means turn his camera on. He's not allowed, brother.
Stay tuned, you know.
Right, depending. I don't know I don't know what the money figure is on his new deal. Actually, I might have been able to convince him. But anyway, guys, Rob. Our good friend Rob, you all know and love him. He's streaming, I believe, right now. To be honest, he's just getting started. I think he's doing like a Raw watch along or something. So make sure you go hit up our good friend Rob on Twitch. Tomorrow, you can get Ibu and Rob on the Raw recap, hangout, day after Raw show. And yeah, what else have we got this week? Ibu, do you want to like plug your little?
Yeah, I have.
Hold on. The Discord pitch thing.
No, not yet. I want it to be formally hashed out first with like a link available.
Yeah, well, no, I mean as in like, do you want to kind of like pitch it to our? Because obviously, this is like your biggest audience of the week, isn't it? You know what I mean? I might not have seen you to it.
Well, so here's the deal. Coming soon, there's going to be a Discord run by myself and AO and Chris and Rob. And here's the deal: you pay to enter, and once you're in, we'll be streaming wrestling and all kinds of other stuff. I'll probably be giving scoops within the Discord. You can watch wrestling with me. Anytime I watch wrestling, like whether I'm watching a Dynamite or a Collision or anything I'm watching in my free time, I will likely do the majority of it on this Discord. And depending on what tier you enter in, you'll be able to talk directly with me. You'll be talking to me while I'm watching all these shows and stuff like that. So it's like a level of unprecedented access. And again, I intend for it to be very expansive. Like I said, any wrestling I watch in my free time, if I'm going through something, I'll be on the Discord and you guys can watch with me. You know, it'll be like we're hanging out. If I plan to watch maybe sometimes if I'm watching a movie, I'll do it on the Discord. If I'm watching like a TV show or something or an anime, I'll watch it in the Discord. So you can look forward to that. And the backup Hangman side as a space will likely dissolve almost completely. But basically think of this as us moving the space to Discord and making it 10 times more interactive because you're listening to us while also talking to us and watching things with us. So that'll be fun. It'll likely be even more informal. And in that case, more, like I said, you'll probably get more scoops in the flow of a conversation because I won't be worried about being aggregated in the Discord. So it'll be very exciting and fun. You could expect me on there. I'm also taking bookings. If you want me on your podcast, let me know. Reach out to me if you have any serious inquiries. I did a podcast already with my boy Kyle from the Apron Bump, and you can expect that, Monty, on Wednesday. On Wednesday, you can see me and Kyle talk about WrestleMania 13 in 1997 from Chicago. So we'll talk about Mania 13, what was happening in 1997 in pro wrestling, the legendary what's it called? Bret Hart versus Stone Cold match. And we do some fantasy booking. My fantasy booking was, what does WWF in 1998 look like if the Bulldog, if British Bulldog stays in the company? What does WWF look like in 98 if Ric Flair comes over? So if you want extensive conversation on what a 1998 WWF Four Horsemen team looks like to take on Steve Austin, we go into that, and it's a really fun conversation. We talk about that. We talk about all the matches, including the critically acclaimed 5-star masterpiece between Rocky Maivia and the Sultan. So you can look forward to that WrestleMania 13 review on the Apron Bump YouTube channel. That'll be on Wednesday. I will plug it. I will send you guys a link. I'll post it so you guys can check it out. It's a really, really fun show. WrestleMania 13 Wednesday on the Apron Bump YouTube channel.
Beautiful stuff. All right, you take us on.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching WrestlePurists Worldwide. This has been a lot of fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow because the work doesn't stop. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Raw review with Rob, where we talk about CM Punk's non-return and an episode of Monday Night Raw, and we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Does Liv Morgan win the fucking tag belts? Who the fuck knows? We'll see. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for supporting Worldwide, and I'll catch you guys soon.